Hello and welcome back to the channel, folks. Thank you for coming in today. We are going to be kicking off another epic campaign. I just got finished with a legendary Grand Cathay campaign with Miao Ying. It was pretty awesome. I've got it all on a playlist if you want to go watch it. But if not, we are going to be starting Astragoth. I want to say Astragoth, sometimes Astragoth Ironhand and the Chaos Dwarves. There are three different lords, Astragoth the Ashen, and Zatan the Black. If you look at these different ones, I'm choosing this one because I like the start position. I like the different factions I'm going to end up fighting. These other ones have slightly different lord effects, like for instance, Astragoth the Ashen gets bonuses for Kadai units, which is pretty cool. Zatan gets an extra convoy, which could be fun. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and go down this road. I really like playing with Astragoth Ironhand. I find him to be the most fun. I've set the difficulty settings for this one. I just got done with a legendary one, so maybe take it easy on me for one. But don't worry, it's still going to basically be the same, right? It's on very hard. So the battle difficulty is the same. The only difference here is that I can save the game when I choose to, and I don't have to deal with like a crappy battle camera and the other nonsense that comes along with Legendary that really doesn't change a whole lot. So in any case, let's get things started. Alright, Hashut wills it indeed. Welcome to the campaign map. We're going to be getting started. I'm going to go ahead and pull in our Bull Centaur Taruk here. Or Taruk, however you say it. So we're going to add that to the army, and then we're going to go give these greenskins a good old raffle stomping and get the campaign started with some combat footage here. I will go ahead and use this loading screen as an opportunity, and I'll probably usually cut out loading screens and stuff like that. So this one I'll use as an opportunity to explain. I think with Astragoth, at least to start off with, since his buffs were to Centaur renders, I think that we're going to, or Bull Centaur renders, whatever they're called, we're going to get more of them. So I'm going to focus on them and blunderbusses. They're some of my favorite units. So we're going to not necessarily have only those units in my army, but we're gonna put a pretty good focus on them. All right, let's do something like this. That'll work. Start the deployment, and let's just go kick some greenskin butt and send these flying back to Mork and Gork. We don't have any particular ranged advantage, and we are going to have the difficulty factor working against us in melee. We'll definitely want to get some work done with our shotguns, and particularly on those black orcs. I do have some armor-piercing anti-infantry with my bull renders. We are going to need those, however, to run down some archers and stuff, so I may sacrifice my orc laborers and my goblin laborers. Speaking of, let's get a look at the units here as we get things kicked off. These are the meat of my army, really, these blunderbusses. I'm really looking forward to them this campaign. And then here's our Bull Centaur renders. And then our Taruk here. You guys help me name the Taruk as well. So help me come up with some names and some fun unit names and stuff like that. Like, for instance, the first time I get an Iron Demon, I'm obviously naming that Patchy's Pain Train, which is a reference to Katana Cavalry from way back when we were all playing Shogun 2. So I got an idea here. I'm going to take this cavalry a little bit up the flank here so we can get the attention of those archers. And I'll do a little bit of dodging. These Bull Centaurs are not like the quickest, sneakiest dodge unit, but it may be just... Nah, they're not buying it. Greenskins are sometimes smarter than what we give them credit for. I'm going to run forward with Astragoth here, and I'm going to move this unit up through the woods. I'm gonna just tag team that black orc. It's gonna be very important that we get the black orc worked down first. I'm actually gonna use Astragoth to come up here and tank these units. Let's get in here. And leave one unit right here, move those around there. Okay, yeah, so this is a strategy I really like to employ, which is, especially in the higher difficulties, blob the enemy and then crap on them with missiles. So that is precisely what we're going to be up to at the moment. So those black orcs are going to get absolutely crushed by our blunderbusses. Look, we have reload animations, folks. See that? I got a ramrod. And they are reloading the blunderbuss. Just as it should be. Okay, I've got these units. Let's go ahead and start running forward with these. So we're crushing all the orcs. We just have a war boss. Actually, the war boss would be another excellent target for the blunderbusses. I'm going to target him. Oh, come on, hit him, hit him, hit him. Obviously, you don't want to... Like, when you're in these higher difficulties, you want to avoid melee, unless you have a unit that's just really built for it, because the AI gets melee defense and leadership buffs. So that's why you're going to see me focus on killing blobs with my blunderbuss units, because they do not get any such buff against missiles, and missiles will still absolutely devastate enemies. So here's their orc war boss there. He's actually hidden behind my goblins. Alright, where's our Lord? Let's bring him back here and stomp these guys out. I'm just going to continue firing. If I hit friendly fire on my own goblin laborers, that's obviously something I'm pretty unconcerned with. I'd rather not shoot my bull centaurs to death. And it looks like my goblin laborers are doing a good job of keeping that guy there. And let's get a look. One of the spells we can get, actually kind of cool, is probably damage my own guys, but I'm willing to demonstrate for you all. It's like a magic missile attack that shoots up and then makes a vortex, and when you overcast it, there's several of them. It's pretty cool, actually. They can use it while they're in melee. It kind of has a similar effect to the magma cannon when it's on the ground, so fun spell there. Let's look at the name in it so I remind myself. Burning Wrath is the name of that spell. So as you can see, blunderbusses are going to be very effective in this campaign. Well, a couple of things are going to be guaranteed in this campaign, and it's basically that we're going to get absolutely attacked from every direction based on our position. We're kind of like between the ogres and the dwarves in terms of location. There's Skaven nearby, there's other chaos factions nearby. They might be friendly with us, we'll see. There's greenskins on both flanks. So we've got Azag over there, and then Gremgor over here. Gremgor is actually a campaign objective, and he is going to snowball out of control relatively quick. But it's going to be hard to necessarily go after him super early. It might be possible if we just, make a beeline for it to try and knock them out early, which would be advantageous. He is one of the objectives, by the way. I'll show you all the campaign objectives here momentarily. I'm going to go ahead and take this first settlement. Chaos Dwarf economy. We're going to have outposts and factories. Outposts are going to give us raw materials, which you can see up here, and factories are going to give us armaments. Raw materials are used to build key buildings and to produce armaments. Armaments are used in the Hellforge to either unlock more units to add to your roster, kind of like you do with the Beastmen, or you can use them to get ridiculous upgrades to your units, kind of like the Skaven Workshop or Orc Scrap upgrades. So I'm going to go with Outpost in this first one, so I'm going to set up my first entire province. I'm just going to set it up as an outpost province. Now we have a tower back here. Tower give us conclave points, and the conclave is right over here. Use those at the Tower of Jar. So once we get 75 concave influence, it'll become accessible. You can get special stuff in there that gives you further buffs in different respects. It could be industry, it could be military. Like, there's a lot of different types of buffs that you can get. We could do an immediate upgrade there, but let's not. I'm going to just get some cash here. We're going to use some raw materials to build this donation barrel. Want to make sure we get plenty of cash. And then as far as recruiting goes, we have access already to more bull centaurs, which would be great. And then but you have to have the armaments in order to unlock more of them to recruit. So see, we're at a recruit cap here. Also, we can only get, right now, one more Chaos Dwarf Warrior. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Great Weapon variant because it's a little better in melee. And then in terms of other units, we can add a Great Taurus here at the beginning as well. And I feel like we should do that. It's a terror-causing unit. It's going to eat up some income and upkeep, but should ultimately be worth it. We can grab one more Orc Laborer here. And if we get the right buildings, we can get some Hobgoblin Archers, which can be pretty useful early on. Now, I could go ahead and throw some upgrades in here too that are going to help on these cheap units, and honestly, we may want to do that, but we could also do this Call to War, which would give a nice melee buff to our Chaos Dwarf Warriors. And then we can also go to Industry first, obviously, and go down this Labor Options. which getting more labor is important. You have to have labor to run your outpost. And then the outposts produce the raw materials, of course, that become armaments. So labor is really important, and you have to spread it around. This one actually gives us more tariffs and stuff too. So I mean, there's useful stuff in all of these. But I'm gonna go ahead and start off here. Let's go ahead and do the Call to War and Stronghold Syndrome. This will be two good initial technologies for us to start with. And then as far as where to put our first upgrades, this could go a number of ways. This Killing Fire passive ability is pretty cool. It's like a damage effect whenever you're casting a spell. That can be pretty nice. I honestly like to throw it into to this Black Shard Bulwark, or actually no, I'd rather throw it into Firing Drills, because remember, we're trying to buff our blunderbusses. So I'm going to do that and try and buff up my Chaos Dwarf units. We need them to be ludicrously strong because we're going to be facing ludicrously strong AI units. Again, though, you can take that a number of different directions as needed. You can try and rush to get the reduced upkeep cost, which we will eventually need, because things, like I said, are very likely to get very dicey in this campaign. But yeah, so the Chaos Dwarf economy, I've gotten to play it quite a bit. I've actually played over 100 turns into these campaigns before. I really like the economy, the way it plays. It's fun to kind of manage those different resources. In a way, it kind of reminds me a little bit of what we saw in, Troy, where you had the different resources and certain ones led to others. It's different, but I would say that it's kind of loosely similar to that. But it does make the gameplay, to me, fun to manage later on, because the types of buildings and stuff are feeding your need rather than you just kind of putting in the same stuff over and over again, which I think for some of you all may get old doing something like that. Let's go over here and hit this other fort and take it, and I'm going to turn it into another outpost as well. It says that we're going to take some big damage here. That seems rather ludicrous. Let's take a look at the terrain. That's why they're saying it, because it's a settlement battle. Settlement battle would be pretty annoying right now because they'd get a tower. I'm just going to encircle it, and if they think they're so tough, they can... Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not wasting my time. Let's just kill them now. Right, I've got the battle all set up. Unfortunately, the enemy has archers, which is going to be kind of irritating, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead... I wanted to come in and take some easy stuff. I'm going to fast forward for a minute. I'm going to try and get my folks in to take some of these different situations. Yeah, they've got a tower up already, of course. And I can't really go after that tower because the enemy archers are just going to shred me. So I'm going to back up for a second and just back out of range of that tower. Yeah, I'm just going to back out of range of the tower. And what I'm going to do is send my fast movers around the map. And we're going to start capturing points to pull some of the enemy away. And then once I get their attention, I'll start trying to kind of pick off units one by one. But here we go. Our Bull Centaur Tarek and Astragoth and our Bull Centaurs are pretty quick moving. They're a monstrous cavalry, so they'll give us decent speed. We'll just try and work our way around here. I'm kind of keeping an eye on these unit cards to make sure I'm not being shot. For those of you not familiar with the game, if you are being shot, you'll see like a little arrow indicator up here. If your units are firing, you'll see a bow. If they're in melee, you'll see some swords, but it's kind of a quick way for you to just know what's going on in the battlefield. I'm not great at watching it all the time myself, but if you are good at it, then it certainly works to your advantage. So see, this should draw some attention. There is actually a key building back here as well. AI is going to continue to build towers as they get more defensive. And we managed to get that. I'm actually going to swing this way. This might draw some attention. The AI, so I'm going to swing across the map, see if we can capture another point. If I can capture a couple of points, it'll give me a pretty significant buff. Let's hit play here, and let's bring in Astragoth. I'm going to put a spell on them here. Little magic missile action. Soften these gobos up a bit. I'm going to try and kill these units and then get into melee. So these small settlement battles are a lot easier when you get a hold of some artillery and you can just kind of start pounding on the enemy. But Otherwise, you got to be kind of patient in them. There we go. Those goblins were obviously no match for us there. So we're in the process of capturing yet another point. Capturing these points also denies tower builds for the AI, which really helps you over the long run, not having to destroy towers or waste ammunition destroying towers and the like. So we've now got 2 control points, and the AI is still just kind of camping up here with their archers. It's okay. I'll just start killing off units and get their attention. I'm certainly capable of killing a lot of their units right now. These bull centaurs get a ward save from Astragoth, and it really makes them quite powerful. And these particular ones are an anti-infantry variety as well, so you can do even more damage. Yeah, we're getting fired at by a tower now. I don't know where that tower's at. It's across the map, I think. Alright, so we took 2 of these points. These points also, when you take them, it makes it harder for the AI to hold their morale together. That's another reason why we want to do this. This one up here gives some specific buffs. What do they got up here on this main section? Orc Error Boys and their lord. I'm pretty sure we can kill him before they could do much about it. Let me just finish off these goblin units here so they can't come back to take my capture points again. Come on, finish him. Shatter him. Shatter him. Alright, they're shattered. Alright, let's bring this unit over here. I might rest it for a second, because we're in no hurry with their other units. And like I said, I could push forward. I just don't want to take a bunch of unnecessary damage or potentially end up in a crappy situation. So my bull centaurs are still fresh. So let's head up here. And we're going to just kind of piece these guys apart. If I take this, that'll take away potentially towers and other stuff for them too. I'm going to actually send Astragoth and my bull centaur after their lord, and then I'm going to send my renders after their orc error boys. I'm going to drop a little magic missile action here. Let you all see that. Good old lore of Hashut here. Hit him. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and chase these guys off. There could be other units around to support them. We're getting hit a little bit by arrow towers. Their lord is getting absolutely cremated by my units here. That's just an orc boy, not a big one. So we'll be alright there. I'm going to let these centaur renders shred this arrow boy. Their bonus versus infantry is going to just be absolutely brutal here. This definitely got the attention of some of the greenskin forces, which is what I want. I want them to come over here and get involved in this melee, because remember, we're trying to pull them away. Gosh darn it, shatter this unit already. I fast forward that because it's really wasting our time here. Right, it's not shattered, but it's out of the way. Let's come over here and help our lord real quick. I'm going to finish this up. I mean, they may not need our help, but that arrow boy is not a threat to us at the moment. They still haven't pulled their units. This is kind of funny. We're actually forcing a bunch of their units to stay in this position, so I'm about to be able to attack them from behind. I'm going to target that infantry unit with my bull renders. We actually didn't get a very good charge. I'm going to pull back and do that again. Alright, here we go. Let's get them again with a better charge. There we go. Those arrow boys are already back, of course. So let's go pay them a visit after we delivered a charge or two there. Now we can capture this key location as well. And that's just going to further cement our victory here. So I said that I like using missile units to win on this difficulty setting, and I do. It does not mean you have to use them solely or specifically to win. You can certainly win in melee if you have the right units. Right here, my units are just vastly superior in melee to the greenskins, and so it's clearly making a big difference. Alright, that's going to knock down a bunch of their fortifications. I'm going to actually chase these units down real quick because they're going to come back from routing and potentially take capture points back, but I don't want them to, and we've almost finished off this orc arrow boy. Alright, it's Permagon. Here comes some gobos over here. So essentially I'm just kind of picking them apart at the moment, so I'm going to come and wreck these goblins. Let's see what ran off over here. Alright, we're just trying to shatter. How come I can't click an attack order? There's like some scenery in the way there. Alright. We just gotta shatter this unit. We've captured 3 of the different ones, so that's gonna be significantly impacting the AI's ability to operate successfully. These units tired yet? Nope, they're still fresh. They have perfect vigor or something? Nope. It's got some really good stamina. Alright, these goblins probably going to get braced, but I don't think it's going to make a whole heck of a lot of difference. They just don't have any armor, and even if they did, my units would chew through it. But that bonus versus infantry here is going to be pretty gruesome. We should be able to finish off that unit of goblins in a pretty straightforward manner. This unit just doesn't want to shatter over here, but we've almost got him. Shatter it already. Goodness sakes. I don't know why it takes so long to shatter. It's probably the extra leadership bonuses that the AI gets on these difficulty settings. Let's come in here. Are these biggins? They are not. I don't know. There's a lot of enemies here, and there's a tower. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's pick a different option. I'm gonna go ahead and start moving up to here, and I'm gonna use this Great Taurus. Actually, with the Great Taurus, we could probably do this here pretty quick. Let's go ahead and bring, see, our leaders finally, yep, shattered that, so let's start moving back the other direction. Nope, this way, please. This way, please. Come on. Getting stuck on the scenery. I know, game's pretty sometimes, but it doesn't mean we get all stuck up on it. I'm gonna come crush into these goblin archers. Actually, I'm not. Let's tag team. Pulling all those guys forward. Woo, we're getting hit by a lot of arrow fire right now. Dodge that. Alright, we smashed into those arrow boys. Goblin archers, actually. Crush the goblin archers. Alright, they're already gone. Let's go away from them for just a minute, and then we'll charge. Fresh, I've got my Bull Centaur Taric here. So we're just going to overwhelm these units. I guess I probably could have just charged straight in, but I didn't want to underestimate the greenskins. That can be a deadly mistake sometimes. I do want to capture this point. They've got a lot of capture power on it at the moment. Let's put some magic out here. I'm trying to make sure these goblin archers don't come back. Ooh, that was a nice hit with that magic. Let's get a rear charge real quick into these orc boys. We'll come back for the archers momentarily. That's going to nearly crush the orc boys. Look at that, we're up to 307 kills. You can see why I want to focus on the Bull Centaurs in this army, because they're going to be incredibly powerful with that ward save. Plus, we can give them a whole bunch of upgrades in the Forge as well. Alright. So we are fairly efficiently killing off our enemies here. Let's... little chase here. We've got infantry on the way up that's going to assist in this capture. Oh, they captured their building back up here with a regrouped unit. That's why I was chasing a lot of those. I guess that one routed, and then... let's just terror out these goblins real quick, and that way we can capture this. I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 units and start crashing across that bridge. Actually, let's just use our blunderbuss. Alright. Greenskins can come capture there. You all can start running up here. Alright, so now all this stuff is routed. Our Taric has taken a bit of a beating, but it's no big deal. Our Renders with dual axes have 300. I mean, they're going to be closing in on 400 kills here very shortly. Is this ramp going to put those guys out of view? Can we shoot them? I think we can shoot them. Shoot him. Alright, didn't get as much damage done there as I would have liked to, so I'm going to run back. Let's swing over here. Okay. Our Bull Centaur renders are up to 440. Soon to be 450. And then we're going to intercept that gobbo there. They've got one tower left over there. Let's go crush those archers with our Great Taurus. And what are our renders up to now? 445. Broken another unit. These guys should have already completely shattered and given up the battle, but like I said, the leadership buffs are being very overly kind to the AI. They certainly don't deserve to still be in this fight. And our dwarf warriors with chaos dwarf warriors with great weapons making short work of these goblins here. Our Great Taurus is going to get those error boys. And we just finished off another group of enemies. Let's go capture this point. And I'm going to send these guys over here. So we should have all of the points captured here momentarily. And nice finish there by our blunderbusses. Alright, let's start heading this way. Great. Looking good. Come over to this capture point. I don't know how these guys haven't terror routed. They're getting absolutely slapped by a Great Taurus. There we go. That's what I thought. Okay, solid victory there for us. Ended up not taking the type of damage that it said we were going to. We're going to take another outpost like I said we would, because this is going to be a raw materials area for me. This building does give me access to Hobgoblin Archers. I'm going to keep that here, at least momentarily. Hobgoblin Archers would be a big help to us, as would some of these these Sneaky Gits. So we're going to want to get some of these units. They don't cost a whole lot, and they can add some serious help to our army at the moment. We're going to finish up firing drills, which is going to really start to buff up our blunderbuss units, which is pretty critically important for us. And then I'm going to come back over here to our Bull Centaur, and I think I'm going to go ahead and throw training on here so we can level up all of our units a little more quickly, make them a little more powerful, and then we'll do Wound Maker. Not going to make a huge difference in the immediate, but should be worthwhile nonetheless. We're now ready to end our turn. We control our first province. We can go ahead and give it a... This one's a raw material focus. That one focuses on armaments. So we'll go ahead and do this billowing smokestacks. Get some extra control. At the Hellforge here, we do have warriors that we could upgrade the number of, and honestly, that wouldn't be bad. But I think I'm going to try and save it for the renders, and because we were going to focus there, so let's do that. We'll save it for renders and blunderbusses. So let's head back out of there, end our turn. Now, the more that you upgrade your unit capacity, it starts to unlock the upgrades over in the manufactory and the forge. But before we can take really good advantage of that, we really need to get an economy rolling with some armaments and raw materials. So this is going to be my raw materials here. And now we just need to get ourselves another province, and we'll set it up for armaments. We're also gaining a little bit of conclave influence right now because of the tower that we do own. So, man, I would love to get a hold of Grimgor early, but he is just not going to be quick or easy. There's some more greenskins here to the south of us, and the Lamian Sisterhood, I believe. Yeah, the Lamian Sisterhood owns Silver Pinnacle. Silver Pinnacle would make a nice tower. It's a rather large province to have to take care of, and it would spread us out. We could attack our fellow Dwarfs here. This is going to be the Servants of the Conclave. We could take Jar Nagrin, which would be a nice tower as well. That would put us right on Grimgor's flank. But, let's go take a look at diplomacy real quick. I don't expect a lot of people to like us because we're Chaos Dwarves, but let's take a look at the quick deal. There could be some things out here that surprise us. I don't want to fight Clan Ferric right now. That would be a waste of time, so I'm happy to take this quick deal. So let's initiate diplomacy on this and squeeze what we can out of these filthy rats. It isn't much, but we'll take it. And they'll probably just betray it here soon, but, you know, take what you can get. So at least we don't have to fight Clan Ferric, and I don't think the Gormandy tribe is terribly interested in fighting us either. So that might buy me at least a little bit of time here. If I run this upgrade, we could improve that Hobgoblin building to give us access to wolves. Or we could just do this one and then get better mineshaft. So we don't have any labor needs yet. It's locked down until you own 2 or more provinces. Okay, yeah, so we can't push our labor around to different areas right now, but we're operating at 100% efficiency on the labor because we have enough for it here in this province. I think, honestly, what we need to do is just focus on making our way over here towards the next enemy, and that's going to be the ones at Silver Pinnacle. I'd said that I didn't want to use this stuff initially because I want to use it on renders, and I do, but that takes 300 armaments. I just don't have enough. And honestly, it may not be a bad idea to get a little bit more Chorf backbone in this. But then again, if I wait a few turns, I could get more blunderbusses, and those are really the damage dealers. But then, of course, you run the risk of not having any staying power. It's going to take 300 to get our next unit of renders. Let's go back and see. We're only making 10 per turn right now. I think... plus you got to pay the higher upkeep costs on the chores. I think we'll just make do what we got for now. We'll get the better units here soon. Let's go ahead and just kind of keep going, and we'll make use of some of the goblin units. We did the call to war. We can go ahead and do Stronghold Syndrome here, which will help those units a little bit as well. Global recruitment capacity, mass production. Yeah, there's some good stuff up here, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go into the recruiting. I'm going to get a couple of sneaky gets. These guys really kind of help with their poison and stuff. Terrible in terms of leadership, but this will at least help us put together, you know, a substantial enough army to be a threat to the other factions around us. And we're going to go focus on Silver Pinnacle, and we'll take that as our second province down there, unless something else pops up that becomes more important, obviously. Vampires can be a pain to have on our flank. Then there's just more greenskins down here, so ultimately we're going to end up fighting them almost assuredly. Lamian Sisterhood is already looking kind of weak. The greenskins down here look like they have some big armies, but weak armies. I'm just going to go ahead and grab a couple more sneaky gets. There, that'll work. Alright. That way we max out our army and get a little more income here. Let's do that and end our turn. See what we get. So yeah, are you all excited about Chaos Dwarves? What do you think so far from what you've seen? I'd love to see you all go down in the comments. Tell me what you're thinking from the videos you've seen. There's a lot of videos out now. People have told you about the lore. People have showed you gameplay. They've showed you the unit rosters. What are you all thinking so far? Is this something that gets you excited? Would you have rather seen something else? Does it not only not get you excited, but make you angry? Like, I'm curious, you know, like, where do you all sit right now in terms of, you know, the DLC? It looks like the greenskins might be about to go fight for me, but, I mean, I'm not going to wait that long. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another war going here, because Chaos loves war, right? We now have access to military convoys as well. Military convoys are very helpful. I'll show you those. But we got a battle to win, folks. Alright, folks, the battle's about to get started. I saw the Blorks focused up to my left, so I'm going to intercept them with Astragoth and then smash them with my blunderbusses. So I'm going to actually go ahead and get ready to begin that process. I've got my Hobgoblin archers up front to help take some shots. Get out of there. I'm going to put these guys in, yeah, defensive stance, go intercept the Blorks. We can start charging now with our labor infantry. I'm going to go after their archers over here, start charging in, Centaur Taric charge in. Hobgoblin archers can switch targets. Oops, I clicked the wrong attack order there. Come on, get back here. Accidentally stuck those guys into melee mode too. I don't know why those guys went up on into melee. You guys really need to be crushing those black orcs for me, please. That, and let's bring our sneaky gits over here to help. I'm gonna bring in some Chaos Dwarf infantry to help out here. Alright, we are now smashing the black orcs. I think they were obscured slightly. And then I need to get my renders into combat. Let's go come after their lord here. To keep backing my archers up, they ended up in bad positions. Alright, we definitely took a beating with Astragoth, but we managed to use him to allow my blunderbusses to absolutely crush 2 black orc units, so that is hit points well spent as far as I'm concerned. And now we're going to pincer these 2 goblin archers, and then I've got my renders tearing into their war boss. They should get a bonus against him. Just finish these guys off. And just keep our hobgoblin archers at a respectful distance here. Though I don't know if there's anything respectful about hobgoblin archers. There we go. Got some units. Our laborer units who got pounded at first are going to come on back into the fight. I'm going to start moving these blunderbusses around. Alright, our renders are now definitely getting a hold of that war boss. You can see his hit points just melting away. These goblins are charging into our hobgoblin archers, but that's not going to last much longer, and there is the shatter that I was expecting. I'm going to go ahead and kill off as many of their units as we can, because I don't want to have to fight these units again. So I'm going to give chase some of their units. Like their war boss, I'm going to finish him up, and I've got my sneaky gits chasing people down. Archer's going to put some finishing touches here. Alright, perfect. You guys chase them down, chase them down. Alright, how we doing? Where's their leader? Should already be dead. He's getting chased by armor-piercing anti-infantry. Let's fast forward that and give him a good old-fashioned killing. Come on, be dead. There you go. Finish off that unit. Finishing off those units. Yeah, looking good, looking good. So we're going to send these guys off with extremely heavy losses, which is exactly the amount of losses that I wanted them to have. Alright, there we go. It's going to be a solid victory for us. We can pick up some extra labor. It's probably not a bad idea. We could also replenish, which would be good, because we're kind of behind enemy lines at the moment. We just tipped off a war, so when we start a war, we might want to be able to finish it. I'm going to actually go into a camp stance so that we can camp, obviously. I'm going to actually stay put there. I think this is a pretty good start to our first episode. Let's pick the next technology we want to do here. Probably not the wolves. I'm going to go to hollow rounds because this gives me some buffs to my blunderbusses. And again, remember that blunderbusses are going to be a focus along with our renders, and we're saving up our armaments to try and get good use of them there. I'm going to hang on to a little bit of cash just in case we end up in a tough situation, and then I'll make those upgrades. Neither one of them is absolutely critical to me because we really can't do a whole lot more to get our economy flourishing yet until we get some more settlements. So we got ourselves raw materials set up, we got ourselves an army. The next episode is going to be about getting ourselves armaments. So come back on the next one if you want to see me go after the armaments and show you how to kind of start kicking this Chaos Dwarf economy up into high gear. I'm not going to declare war on the Lumian Sisterhood just yet. Might as well get these guys while we're here because we're at war with them. Anyway, I will see you all in the next one. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.